The dream of retiring with $1 million nest egg has become a staple of American culture, yet the statistical reality for those over 50 is far more exclusive than the glossy brochures suggest. While we are told that 7 figures is the entry price for a life of leisure, only about 3% of retirees actually cross that threshold in their specialized investment accounts. This massive gap between the public myth and the private bank statement creates a heavy weight of shame for millions of hard-working people who feel they've somehow failed the finish line. We have been conditioned to believe that freedom is a luxury reserved for the wealthy, but the truth is that independence is often found in the choices we make, not just the balances we hold. Today, we are going to look past the intimidating numbers and investigate what it truly takes to reclaim your time, your joy, and your identity in this next chapter of life. By understanding the real landscape of American retirement, you can stop measuring your worth by a math problem and start designing a lifestyle that prioritizes your spirit over a spreadsheet. Number 1. The core retirement freedom problem. The pervasive anxiety surrounding American retirement is fueled by a profound disconnect between media narratives and the harsh mathematical reality of the average household. While financial publications often present the 7-figure nest egg as a standard requirement, current data reveals that a mere 3.2% of retirees actually hold $1 million in their accounts. This statistical rarity means that the vast majority of our neighbors are navigating their senior years with far less, yet the psychological pressure to hit that arbitrary magic number remains. When we treat $1 million as the only valid passport to freedom, we inadvertently imprison ourselves in a cycle of perceived inadequacy and perpetual delay. This fixation on a specific sum obscures the true objective, which is not just an accumulation of capital, but the sustainable liberation of your daily schedule. By confronting the fact that most people will never reach that specific wealth bracket, we can finally begin to dismantle the shame that prevents us from seeking alternative paths to a joyful life. We must pivot from the fear of an empty account toward the strategic management of our actual resources to ensure that our later years are defined by agency rather than by scarcity. Number 2. Emotional journey after 50-60. Transitioning into this phase of life often triggers a profound internal shift that transcends the simple logistics of a bank balance or a final paycheck. For decades, our identities have been tethered to professional titles and the relentless pursuit of productivity, leaving a vacuum when the daily grind finally begins to fade away. This emotional crossroads can feel like a loss of gravity, as the structure that once defined our worth is replaced by an intimidating expanse of unstructured time and silence. Many Americans find themselves grieving the person they used to be, while simultaneously fearing the unknown version of who they are meant to become next. It is a period marked by a search for renewed purpose that isn't tied to an employer's expectations or the social benchmarks of high-performance success. We must learn to navigate the complex landscape of our own desires, moving past the external validation of a career toward an internal sense of fulfillment. Embracing this vulnerability is the first step in crafting a transformation that values your personal essence over your previous professional output or your accumulated social status. Number 3. Avoiding regrets, seeking joy. The most common regret among American retirees in 2026 is not simply a lack of funds, but the realization that they traded their best physical years for a number they never actually reached. Data from recent surveys shows that the magic number people believe they need has climbed toward $1.26 million, but the median savings for those aged 65 to 74 actually hovers closer to $200,000. This massive disparity often leads to a paralyzing delay of life, where individuals wait for a financial peak that may never arrive, only to find their health has declined in the interim. Statistics indicate that nearly 60% of retirees are forced to leave the workforce earlier than planned due to health or employer changes, underscoring the danger of postponing joy. True satisfaction in this stage comes from prioritizing health wealth and experiences that your older self may no longer be physically capable of enjoying. Instead of chasing an elusive seven-figure balance, many are finding that the greatest return on investment is the immediate reclamation of their time and vitality. Focusing on what you can do with what you have right now is the most effective strategy for ensuring that your later years are filled with memories rather than what-ifs. Number 4. Breaking social norms, living for yourself. The modern landscape of American aging is witnessing a radical departure from traditional expectations as millions of citizens choose to rewrite the rules of their later years. Recent data indicates that nearly 1 in 4 Americans living abroad is a retiree, a demographic shift that has seen over 760,000 seniors receiving Social Security benefits while residing in foreign countries. This trend toward global retirement is driven by a desire to escape the high cost of domestic health care and the isolation of suburban life, with many finding that their dollars stretch 3 times further in places like Panama or Greece. Simultaneously, at home, the rise of multi-generational living has reached record levels, with 17% of housing purchases now being made by households that include 3 or more generations. By pooling resources and sharing responsibilities, these families are defying the lone retiree trope and creating a more resilient, socially connected lifestyle that prioritizes community over individual social standards. Choosing to downsize, relocate, or live with kin is no longer a sign of financial failure, but a strategic move toward maximizing personal freedom and emotional security. These bold departures from the status quo prove that the most successful retirements are those designed for the person living them, not for the expectations of a society obsessed with independent accumulation.
Number 5. Financial independence. Real solutions. While the cultural obsession with million-dollar portfolios continues to dominate headlines, federal data confirms that the median retirement account balance for Americans aged 65 to 74 is actually $200,000. This stark reality means that true financial independence for the majority of the population relies on a multifaceted approach rather than a single massive investment bucket. Modern solutions focus on securing guaranteed income streams, such as maximizing Social Security benefits through strategic filing ages, or leveraging small, reliable pensions that act as virtual wealth. Many are finding that eliminating high-interest consumer debt provides a more immediate boost to their lifestyle than chasing volatile market gains in a late-stage portfolio. By reducing fixed monthly overhead, you effectively lower the burn rate of your existing savings, making a modest account perform like a much larger one. Diversifying your income through flexible part-time work or passive rental income can also bridge the gap between your current assets and your desired quality of life. Shifting your focus from the total size of your nest egg to the consistent flow of your monthly cash is the most practical way to achieve lasting security. The journey toward a liberated life after 50 is ultimately a reclamation of your most precious and non-renewable asset, your own time. While the myth of the million-dollar milestone persists, the reality is that true independence is crafted through the courage to live authentically and the wisdom to prioritize your well-being over social expectations. As you stand at this crossroads, remember that your value was never truly defined by a career title or a specific balance in a brokerage account. You have the power to redefine what success looks like by choosing experiences that nourish your spirit and by investing in the health and relationships that will sustain you for decades to come. Don't let the fear of an arbitrary number keep you from the freedom you have already earned through years of hard work and dedication. This is your moment to step out of the shadows of financial anxiety and into the light of a purposeful, joy-filled future that is entirely of your own making. If you are ready to stop waiting for a permission slip and start building your own path to freedom, leave a comment below sharing one bold change you are making this year.